refresh the page. Good morning. It's Bank Holiday Monday. One day much seems like the other at the moment, I'll be honest. It's kind of a blending and just running seamlessly one into the other, but there you go. Anyway, good morning, it's Lisa from Crunchy Crafts. It's Bank Holiday Monday here in the UK, so a lot of people are self-isolating at home or going for a walk or whatever. The weather's nice where I am, so that's good. I'm going to be doing some gardening later. I've got some pot plants that some plants that I'm going to be redoing. So I ordered some high-level planters for the garden, which I'm really pleased about. So it means I can do them, so that's great. So I'm going to be doing some of that. My mum's grown me some plants to put in them, which is really nice. So I've made a card to share with you this morning. All the catalogues that I have ordered, I have now sent out. So if you do want a new catalogue from me, please get in touch. I've got some more on order and they will be going out. They go out all bundled up like this, look. Lots of goodies in that envelope. So this is the last one, it's going out today. So lots of goodies in that envelope coming out to lots of people. So they will be arriving this week, which I'm really excited about. So that's that. Anything else I need to tell you? Facebook Live catalogue launch is going to be on Friday the 5th at 7 PM here. So I'm going to do a catalogue live launch, so anybody can join in, come and have a look, and then we're going to do a catalogue launch party. I've got to set that up in Facebook, and there will be an invite for that as well. So that's quite good. I think that's all I've got to tell you actually. So it's kind of, we're about 5 to, I think. So, and I think people are joining. I've got an eye on the screen, so it tells me people are watching, which is good. I hope perhaps you're going to be doing something nice today, doing a bit of crafting, being able to sit out in your garden. You know, it's a scary world out there, but let's be realistic and stay safe and actually stay positive, because positivity really helps in times like this. And focus on the positives, I think. A lot of us are lucky, we've got roofs over our heads, we may not have loads of money, but we've got a roof over our heads. Family that love us, they may not be with us, but we know they're thinking about us. So I think that's a really big positive that we can think about. So, right, I'm going to turn the screen down and we're going to get on with today's card. Okay, right, bear with me because you're going to feel a little bit seasick. Right, so down. And around. Oh, I'm getting good at this. Morning, Kit. Who else have got on? Morning, Sam. Morning, Lynn. Morning, Baz. Hang on, who else is there? Oh, just 4 of you at the moment. Oh, that's all right. I'm sure some others will pop along. Hang on. Was that extra? There we go. That's how I want it. Right. So how are you all, guys? Are you okay? Sam, your card was very pretty. Oh, knocked the desk. Your card was very pretty this morning. I have been on Facebook and commented. Hang on, let's see if I can bring that up. Right, just going to have a slurp of my tea. Your card was very pretty this morning. Oh God, hang on. I have been on Facebook and commented. Hang on, let's see if I can bring that up. There we go, got the computer volume was up because I was doing something else before. Tea is hot. Tea is very hot. Right, so as you can see, I've got 2 stamp sets on my desk. Light's right in my eyes. Let's pop it that way a bit and it won't hopefully shine quite so much. We're using the Someone Special and the Crackle Paint stamp set. Now, the Crackle Paint one is retiring. I haven't used it nearly enough. It's lovely. If you want it, try and get your hands on it before it goes completely. I honestly never get rid of background stamps like this. I hang on to them because they are always handy, whether I'm scrapbooking, doing a 3D project, whatever. A background stamp, I think it's an amazing stamp to have. So I'm going to be hanging on to that. We're also using our lovely Someone Special, which was my April stamp set for my coffee and card kit in your home. I love this. Now, today's card has been inspired because I've had one of my customers, a lady called Shirley Cuff, contact me and asked me if I could, morning Shirley, you're here, if I could remind her how to do reverse stamping. So that's where you've got an image and you actually want it the other way round. So that's what we're going to be doing on today's card. We're actually going to be using the little squirrel here, and we're actually going to be flipping him so he goes both, so he's backwards as well as forwards. I was going to say goes both ways, but I don't know how politically correct that is. So that's our lovely little squirrel. That's who we're going to be using today. So let's show you the card. I'll pop those out of the way. This is our card. Can you see the sparkle on the squirrels? Can you see that? Is that visible? Can you see all that sparkle? Bring it up a bit. I'm trying to see if I can see the sparkle. Hang on, is that better? Let's see if I can get a bit closer. Let's turn the light around a bit. Can you see the sparkle now? Is that showing? Is that better? Hang on. Right, so I can see it and it's beautiful. My squirrels have been coloured with the Wink of Stella pen, and I'm going to show you how to do that using your ink pad and the Wink of Stella pen. That's my crackle background. And as you can see, the squirrels are facing opposite directions. The sentiment, though we are not together, we are close at heart, is from the COVID-19 Sharing Sunshine download, which is available on the Stampin' Up website. Okay, as I've said, I don't earn commission from that. Stampin' Up don't earn from it. It's a 15-page printout. It's a PDF. It's not to be shared with everybody. You only use it for your purposes. It still falls under the Angel policy, and everything goes to two charities that are helping to on the ground to help people in in areas all over the world, actually. So there you go. So my background today is a bit of terracotta tile, and I've got the matching ribbon. What else have I got? Oh, of course, I've got some sparklies. Love these sparklies. There's lots of sparklies on there today. So without further ado, let's head over. I'm not heading anywhere, am I? Let's grab the stuff and get on. I'm going to pop this to one side. Don't forget, you can order everything that I'm using today on the Stampin' Up website. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Stamparatus. I've already cut my base. So my base, here's my base, is, and I've actually got the measurements written down for you today, 4 1/8 wide this way, which is 10.5 centimetres, by the length of your A4, which is 8 1/4 inches or 21 centimetres. And you score it at 5 7/8 or 14.9. So that makes your card base. So that's our card base. You're also going to need 2 pieces that are 3 7/8 by 5 5/8 or 9.8 centimetres by 14.3. You're going to need a scrap of terracotta tile to do your heart. You're going to need some scrap of white to do your squirrels. And this is part of my COVID-19 printout. I've cut it out so that I can punch those out with the hearts. We're also using this heart punch, which is going through to the new catalogue, and this heart punch, which is going through to the new catalogue. So let's pop those to one side. So I'll open that one up so it's ready to go. The inks I'm using today are soft suede, grey granite and terracotta tile. So those are my inks for today. Not a piece of memento, or not a memento in sight. So let's pop those to one side. And that's the ribbon we're using, which is the, what's they called this one? The scalloped linen ribbon. And this is going through. I love this ribbon. It's going through. So it's really, really pretty. Okay, so that's that. Right, let's pop that out of the way. Whoops. Right, let's see if I can get rid of this wire. It's doing my head. Is that better? Right. It's making sure my camera doesn't die. So the first thing we're going to do is I've drawn on my grid paper. Okay, so I've kind of worked out my scrap of Whisper White. I know that's my Whisper White kind of. Hang on, I have a bigger piece. I've got lots of scraps down here, and I was lining them up and working them out. So that's kind of, in that area is going to be my where I'm going to stamp my squirrels. Okay, there we go. Yes, let's use that bit. So that's where I'm going to stamp my squirrels eventually. So I've got some marks there, so I know that they're going to be there. I've also got some marks for my silicone mat. Now you can use a sheet of acetate, it will do the same job, but I've recently been using the silicone mat, which is available in the catalogue, and I have to say I love it. It really does give a great image on this. Okay, so that's my silicone mat. And then I've also put markings where my front piece for my crackle paint is going to go, so that when I use my stamps, if I was doing multiple cards, I would know. So if I was replicating this lots of times, I would know where the stamp was on the pad, so that I didn't have to keep repositioning it. I've got my markings there already. Okay, so let's, without further ado, the first thing I'm going to do is stamp my crackle paint. So I'm going to pop that piece down. Now obviously, because I'm covering the whole thing, I can't use a magnet. Okay, I can use it up there to hold that. I don't want, no, I'm not going to, because I don't want to get it on there. So I already know I've lined my stamp up so that I know it's going to cover the whole of that. Okay, so I'm going to grab my grey granite ink, and I'm just going to ink this up really well. Whoops, everything's just moved. Lots of ink. I like grey granite. It's really soft grey. Right, let's put that one down there. Straighten that back up. Right, okay, so get that off there. Make sure that's reasonably square, and just press this down. Hang on. Really does help if you don't have your silicone mat right underneath. Right, okay, don't, because I got a red rubber stamp, this is a don't do as I've just done. Because I've got a red rubber stamp, I really didn't need this underneath, because this is what you use with the photopolymer stamps. So, but it's done all right, because actually I'm going to be cutting some off, so that's absolutely fine. I'm not worried about that. If you were worried about that little edge, you can, if you're very clever, just fill it in. Oh, still not enough. Let's go down a bit. There we go. It's kind of there. Or if you're not entirely happy, which I'm not, it's Monday morning. Why did I choose to do these on a Monday morning? It's Monday morning. Right, let's do this again. At least you know I'm human and I make the same mistakes as all of you do. So line that back up, make sure it's in there. Okay, press it down. It's probably making the camera wobble. Oops, right, fill those bits in. Much better. Right, I'm happier with that side. We're going with that side. Right, now I am going to put the rubber piece back underneath, because the next thing we're going to be doing with our Stamparatus is, so I'm going to take this plate off, pop it to one side, and I'm going to bring this one in because it's got my squirrel on it, all ready to go, because we're going to be using our squirrel. So the first thing we need is, we don't need any paper. We need to know where our paper is going to go. So that's where my sheets of paper are going to go, okay? But the first thing we need is our silicone mat. So I'm going to pop my silicone mat down. Okay. I'm going to get my soft suede ink pad. And I've already lined up I've got my squirrel, so I'm just going to ink him up, and I'm going to stamp down on my silicone mat, pressing down so I know the whole of the image is on the silicone mat. And I'm going to do this 3 times so that the ink stays really wet on the silicone mat. Okay, ensure all the detail is transferred to that silicone mat. Okay, then what I'm going to do, because I can see through the silicone mat where my markings are, I'm going to carefully, without rubbing the image on the silicone mat below, pop that piece of paper down. I'm not going to re-ink this because I don't need to, and I'm going to press down on the top. I'll bring that back up. So that's our image on the front, but if we turn it over, well, hey, we've got an image. So I'm going to pop this one down. I'm going to get rid of my silicone mat, pop this one down, re-ink my stamp. Let's make sure that's straight. So it doesn't matter because so that is how you get your opposites, Shirley. So that is reverse stamping. So whether you want trees up here and trees reversed the other way, so you would do it that way. So that would be how you would do that. So if you wanted your squirrels the other way, I haven't done this one yet, so let's give it a go. So we'll do this live. I'm just going to position my squirrel further up. Okay. Right. Let's bring back in our silicone mat. I'm just going to turn it over. This is trial and error, guys, because I haven't done it this side yet. So depending where you want your squirrel, so let's do our 3 on our mat. 1, 2, 3. Right, so we've got lots of ink on there, so I'm going to carefully pop that down. Not re-ink straight away, just press that down. Okay, so there you go. So if we turn it over, we've got him that way. So let's get rid of that end. Green putty. Right, so we want them So we've now got squirrels that have fallen out. So depending where you put your stamp will depend where you sorry, I've got to get rid of the frog in my throat. Will depend where your image will be. Okay, so that's how you do reverse stamping. You also end up with it kind of ghosted on that side. Clever, isn't it? I love them. I think they're great. So that's how you do those. Okay, so I'm going to pop this to one side because we've finished with Stamparatus now. I love my Stamparatus. I don't think there's a better one on the market because we've got flip plates. I'm going to show you another top trick in a minute with it that I've discovered through trial and error when I've messed up. So at the moment we've got a very rectangular piece of cardstock. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is kind of I'm going to decide where I want my cardstock. Okay, I think that's where I want it. Now I want to be able to put my ribbon on it, piece of low tack tape would be really good, but I can't find it for a minute. So I'm just going to do a tiny dot of glue because I know I can take that off with a tiny dot of glue in a minute. And I'm going to position it. I hope it's going to work. I was hoping to use my, oops, can I get it through? Yes. The baby guillotine. See if I can get it in there straight. And I'm just going to trim off those bits. If you haven't got the guillotine, you can do this exactly the same on your Stampin' Trimmer. Oops, take it so it's correct. Okay, so let's just quickly peel that off. That's the back, so that's fine. Right, the next thing I'm going to do is with my tear tape. I'm going to put tear tape down the edge of there. Okay. And a little bit on the back. Now I used to wrap this right the way round and unpeel it all the way. And then I found that I was having real problems getting the damn stuff off. And when I did, and I was trying to line my ribbon up, it was sticking to my paper underneath. So top tip is to do 3 separate little bits. So I'm just going to take my ribbon slightly off the edge, line it up, grab my scissors, peel that off. Right. Okay, tuck that round. Oops, make sure it's straight. Otherwise it's gonna show. Right, so that's your edge. So the next thing you can do is with your glue, love a little bit of Tombow, line that back up. Don't forget your ribbon will add a little bit at the bottom because you've taken it over the corner. Okay. I've got some new trimmer blades on order. So let's just get rid of those edges. Run my snips down there. And that will beautifully get rid of those. Or a nail file. There we go. Right, so let's get rid of those little bits. So there's the front of our card, okay? Is that corner stuck down? Did I put glue up there? Did I glue that bit? It's all happening on a Monday morning today, isn't it? And there we go. Find it doesn't stick on the ribbon edge, just use some tear and tape and that will happily stick it. I'll weight that down in a minute. The corner's bent up. We'll just hold it for a little bit, shall we? Monday mornings, eh? Do the rest of you have Monday mornings like this? I do hope so. Right, okay, so we're fine on that. We're all good to go. So we've got our little squirrels, which is going to be the next bit, and we've got our sentiment. So do I do that one, or that one? Oh, decisions. Now when this printout is done, you can't change the colour. It's all set, you can't change the colour. I think I'm going to go for that one. So let's just grab our punch and we'll punch this one out. They've done all sorts of shapes in the printout, which is really great because it works with all sorts of the punches. It's really fab. Great sentiments for using at the moment. Let's just put that in the rubbish. So we've got our sentiment, so that's, I'll pop that one to one side because I can use it again. And let's grab our scalloped punch and that one. So they're both done now, so that's good. Bit of the rubbish. So that's done, that's done. Oh, I've forgotten to do the inside of my card. I'll show you how to do that in a minute, okay? I can't cope with that being like that. It's sticking up. A little bit of tear tape. Can you all see what I'm doing? Sticking the tear tape. It's on the ribbon now, so now it's going to prove complete pain to get off. So you know when you look at people's makes and you think, wow, and other people's videos and you think, wow, they did that so easily. Believe you me, we all have days like this. Right, there you go. That's stuck down now. I'm happier with that. Couldn't cope with it not being correct. Right, so let's get to the fun bit. I've left my ink pad open and nearly put my elbow in that. That would have been embarrassing. Right, so the pads, just gently squeeze it. Okay, can you see I'm gently squeezing it? And you'll end up with a pool there, okay? So I've got my Wink of Stella pen, and I know it's already got stuff in it, it's primed. And I'm just going to take some ink. Can you see that? It's making my ink there shiny as well, which is good. And I'm going to start on his tail. Just keep working what I've got on the brush down. And where I know there's darker bits, I'm just going to go in and do those bits quite dark. A bit dark around his arm there. It's a bit darker on his muzzle. And that ear. And then I'm just going to gently blend out the colour over the rest of him, leaving a bit of his tummy. Oh, excuse me, talking of tummies, that was mine. That was well timed. Right, so again, darker there, and darker around there. His arms, the top of his tail, and blending it out. It's also will be blending your ordinary ink colour as well, so the soft suede we've got here. Okay. There we go. I'll tell you what, let's just do their muzzles so they're soft suede. 2 shiny squirrels. So let's leave them to, because we have got the dies. I haven't pre-cut them because I know that not all of you have got the dies yet. So the dies will be available on the 3rd of June again. So I'm going to do exactly the same as a lot of my customers are doing at the moment. I'm fussy cutting. But I have to say, the dies are really worthwhile having. There is so much in them and I absolutely love them. There's some grass in them that I've actually turned into waves on another card. So if you've got the stamp set and you didn't get the dies, I really would highly recommend getting them because they are brilliant and I love them. I know my customers are going, she loves everything, but I do think they're really worthwhile having. Right, so let's bring that up round. I mean, if you joined one of my stamp clubs, starting again in June. So the Colour Club or if you joined the Colour Club, the New In Colour Club, when it was your month to host, you could put your host money towards the dyes that would go with this. So you wouldn't have much more to pay and you'd have earned them for free. Almost free. So my new Colour Club is going to run for 5 months, and over those 5 months you will get everything with each of the New In colours. So what have we got? Magenta Madness, Misty Moonlight, Just Jade, Cinnamon Cider, or if you're in Somerset, Devon or Cornwall, Cinnamon Cider. And I do genuinely occasionally speak like that. If I've been down in Cornwall with my friends for a long time, then I come home speaking with quite an accent again. Right, so where was I? Oh yeah, Cinnamon Cider, Misty Moonlight, Magenta Madness, Bumblebee, and last but not least, Cinnamon Cider, Bumblebee, Magenta Madness, Misty Moonlight, oh, and Just Jade. Really, really beautiful colours. In fact, probably on Thursday, I'm going to be working with them, because by Thursday, most of my customers who have already ordered their or requested their catalogues will have had them. So they'll be able to see what I'm talking about, and I'm going to be using some of the new stamps. Right. There we go. Right, June's coffee and card in your home kit. Those of you that have ordered your catalogues or have got catalogues coming to you, your information about June's kit is in there. It is a new stamp set that's in the new catalogue, so I can't actually show you a picture at the moment, but the information is in there, and because you've got your catalogues, you will be able to look at it. There is a punch that goes with it, which is really good, so you'll be able to see that as well. So that's in there, so my customers will have that. If you're interested in the stamp set, can you just hang on 2 minutes? This is terrible because somebody's just come to the door. Hang on 2 minutes. Thank you. Oh, parcel. Right. Oh, sorry, and that was my knee. Sorry about that. Right, so back again. So yes, so my coffee and card club for June, all the information is in your catalogue packs, so you'll be able to see. And come the 3rd of June, I will be publishing it on the website as well, so you'll be able to see everything. So there you go. Right, so we've got a card base. We've got those bits, and we need to stamp the inside. But I'm going to forget about stamping the inside for a minute. I'm going to use my dauber, which has already got ink on, and I'm just going to go very carefully round the edge of the inside bit, like that. I wonder if other people get parcels come when they're doing a live. I have to just leave the room, leave you to focus on what was on the thing. I haven't got an assistant to open the door. They're all at work, so it's just me. So I do apologise for that. Right. So we're going to stick that down. Now, I'm going to show you. So what have I forgotten? Oh, I haven't got my squirrel. I'll show you how to do that in a minute, okay? So that's the inside of my card, deliberately done without the squirrel. Ah, there it is. Do you know what? I had some, I was going to say, I had some dimensionals a minute ago, and now they've gone. Right. So using my take a pick tool, just going to grab my dimensionals. I like doing my dimensionals with my hands. Right. before I do that, can I have that one back, squirrel? Right. There, look, the door's come. I'm all flustered now. Right, I just want to gently edge my heart. Right, there we go. Right, take the rest of those off now. Like that. So there's my hearts, okay? So they're going to go like that. Take the backings off. How many of you find dimensional backings absolutely everywhere? Right, so that's my heart. So now I can centre put my squirrels on. Like that. One, let's get rid of that one. Oh, one dimensional left on the sheet, and then I can use all the edging. There will be nothing left on that sheet by the time I've finished. Every little bit will be used. So we've got our squirrels, okay? So can't have a card without a little bit or a lot of bling. So I'm using the champagne rhinestones again. So I'm using my the putty end of my pick tool. And I'm just going to pop some rhinestones down. This is random. I know some of you don't do random. Put that one there. Oh, would you pick it up, please? There we go. Up there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 3 down there. 1, 2, 3. Putty's moved. 4, 5. Okay, that was a big decision, wasn't it? Where to put those. So that's the front of my card. Lots of sparkle. Sparkly squirrels. Wouldn't it be nice if squirrels sparkled in real life? God, that's a random thought, but there you go. So that's it. So we've forgotten to do the inside deliberately so I can show you a trick with the Stamparatus. So I'm going to bring it back in. And because I know if I turn that mat over where my squirrel originally was, out there, I'm going to pick it back up, okay? So don't leave my mat. So I've got my squirrel and I've realised that I haven't done the inside of my card. So unlike any other Stamparatus, you can do what's called the hinge step, and you will see this referred to in your catalogue. This is the hinge step. You can take it out and move it down 1 step. You can take it out and move it down 2 steps. So if you had a sentiment that you were using and you wanted to do it in a long line, have I got one handy? Big sentiment handy. I haven't, because I put that set away, which is a real pain. I'll tell you what, I'll do that on Thursday and show you the hinge step on Thursday, okay, using a new set. So you can put your sentiment in a line here, and instead of having to move your sentiment each time, all you do is move your hinge, 1 hinge, okay? So if we put our card back in here now, like that, we couldn't close it. Well, we could. It would be tight, but it would be really difficult. And our squirrel would be smack bang in the middle of our card. So if I take him down 1, he's still, actually, he's not going to be bad, actually. But what I did was took it down 2, and then I was able to position my card so that he was right at the bottom. Make sure my card was straight. Grab a magnet, okay, to hold my card. Grab my ink pad, just ink him up gently and pop him down. There you go. Perfectly placed. You haven't damaged your card. So even if you've forgotten, use your Stamparatus and you will be able to perfectly place that. So there you go. There's today's card. Let's move that out of the way. And that. Pop them over there. Oops. Pop them over there. So 2 of today's card. I love this card. Really, really love it. So there. So what do you think of today's card? Are you loving that? Can we have some hearts if you love it? I love it. I really love it. I love this stamp set. Special Someone is definitely one of my favourite stamp sets. Although I think I'm going to have a whole heap more favourites coming through. Yeah, we've got some hearts. That's good. So today, top tips. How to use the hinge step on your Stamparatus. How to cut your paper differently on your cards. You've got a different effect. Colouring with your Wink of Stella. How any of you can survive without a Wink of Stella pen, I don't know. I love my Winky pen. I think that's it. And our reverse stamping. So Shirley, I hope you've got that and that was, you understood that. Perhaps Marion and Helen were watching as well, which would have been good because then they'll be able to see that as well. So have a lovely rest of your bank holiday Monday. I'm going to disappear. I'm going to finish my cup of tea. And then I'm going to go and sit in my garden chair at the table and do some of my planters, which will be really lovely because it's nice and sunny out there. So have a lovely day, stay safe, and I will see you soon. Crafty hugs. Bye.